everyone, I'm Sherry with the CGH Health Foundation, and I'm back with another easy, healthy recipe for our What's Cooking CGH video series. Today I'm going to be making an apple slaw, and we probably don't tend to think of coleslaw as the healthiest side dish, but I think when I explain all of the ingredients in this recipe, you'll see that coleslaw can be a very nutrient-dense dish, and this version of it is absolutely delicious. I'm going to start off like I start all of our salad recipes, and then I make my salad dressing right in the big bowl. And this one starts off with some apple cider vinegar. And we're going to do a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. So vinegar has a lot of health claims. Some of them are maybe kind of valid and true. Some of the claims about vinegar is that it might help with your gut health, and it's a fermented food, so there's something to be said for that. Vinegar has also been claimed to help with us to lose weight. There might be a little bit of truth to that rumor also. Might also help with controlling our blood sugar and our cholesterol. It doesn't hurt to put it in, so I'm going to go ahead with a 1/4 cup, and this is apple cider vinegar. And by the way, I try to buy a less distilled version of apple cider vinegar. So some of the beneficial bacteria, etc., is in what is called the mother. And if you look at your vinegar bottle, I don't know if you can see it, floating around at the bottom, you're going to see a little bit of sediment, maybe a little bit of cloudy liquid. That's the good part. That's called the mother, and that's the beneficial bacteria in the product. Okay. The second ingredient is mayonnaise. I chose a light mayonnaise. Now, we don't tend to think of mayonnaise as healthy, but it's not as bad as you think it is. It's usually made with a nice vegetable oil, some egg whites, a little bit of egg yolk. I'm choosing the light version. It is less than half the calories of the full fat version. So it really doesn't add anything horribly bad to the dressing. Gives it that nice creamy consistency. And this recipe calls for 1/2 cup of the mayonnaise. And so I'm going to use my 1/4 cup measure and do 2 of those right into the bowl. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, here's the mayonnaise. This recipe is a little sweet. We want it to be a little bit sweet, and that helps to complement the apples. And so I have 2 tablespoons of honey that I'm going to add to the bowl. Another ingredient that I'm going to add to the dressing is poppy seeds. So you may be familiar with poppy seed dressing. So this is basically a poppy seed dressing. And I absolutely love seeds and including them in my diet. They're usually very, very high in nutrients, and the poppy seeds are no different. They're a very good source of minerals like calcium and phosphorus. They're usually a very good source of things like our healthy fats, like the omega-6 fats, a little bit of protein as well. And so I think it's great to include all kinds of seeds in your diet in one form or another. For this dressing, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of the poppy seeds. Now, if you really didn't want to use poppy seeds, again, all seeds are great nutrition. I think sunflower seeds would be a good example. Maybe some nuts, if you wanted to replace the poppy seeds with some sliced almonds into the salad mix, that would be another good thing. But the poppy seeds, I think, are awesome. We're going to do salt and pepper, just about less than a teaspoon of salt. And a good many grinds of black pepper. So this is kind of to taste. I like quite a bit of black pepper. I'll let my pepper mill go to work here. I love this battery operated pepper mill. Okay, So we're gonna say that's maybe a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Whisk it all up. Okay, everything looks good there. And we're done with that whisk. Okay, so here come the slaw ingredients. So first of all, this is an apple slaw. So let's attack the apple first. And I already have one of them cut up, and we want it to be in kind of little matchsticks, if you will. That's about what they look like, about that size. I've got one of them in there, and I'll show you how I did that because I do have a good method for cutting apples into matchsticks like this. So I like to cut the cheeks off my apple, like that, and that. There we go. So we have 4 pieces. Coleslaw mix over here. And then you can go in and just cut some real thin slices. Really, they're just about 1/8 of an inch wide. Bear with me while we get this all done, and then go crossways to get that little half a matchstick kind of shape. So that's how I did it. Apples are great nutrition. I leave the peel on, as you can see, because the antioxidants in the apple, which help to protect our cells against damage, a lot of them are concentrated right there in the peel. One of the specific ones is called quercetin. Quercetin helps your body to metabolize fats and proteins, so that's really important. I pretty much always leave the peel on the apple for everything. And one more piece to go here. I'm putting the apple in the dressing first because I can stir it around in there, and the vinegar in the dressing will help to keep the apple pieces from turning brown. Okay, my tongs and give them a little bit of a toss. Okay, so there are the apples. Next ingredient, I have 4 green onions here, and I'm going to use just the green parts. Chop them crossways. And this white part that's left over, I'm going to put that in a little jar in some water, and it'll grow a new green for me, so that'll save on groceries the next time. So there's my green onion going in. And the last ingredient is my slaw. I'm going to make it easy on myself by using a bagged coleslaw mix. And this one has cabbage, a little bit of red cabbage along with the green, and some shredded carrots. So that's going to go right into the bowl. And the volume of slaw is deceptive when you buy the bag. Always use a bigger bowl than what you think you need, because this expands for some reason when it pops out of the bag like that. Let me get rid of my board. And so here we have, I like to use the tongs, and we're gonna start just tossing everything together. And so that'll get that dressing distributed. The apples. And when you're doing this, it might seem a little dry. But what we're going to do is, once we get this all mixed together, we're going to put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour. And as the slaw sits in the refrigerator, that salt and the vinegar is going to start working on the cabbage and softening it up. And in that hour's time, You want to go in there and maybe once or twice in that hour, stir it up again just a little bit to get the dressing fully incorporated and mixed together. So there we go. There is our slaw before it goes in the refrigerator. I'm going to go grab the one I have in the refrigerator so that you can see what it looks like, and we'll give it a taste. So there's my slaw. This is the same quantity, right? Let me put them next to each other so you can see. This is the one before it goes in the refrigerator, and this is after. So you can see that it is softer, reduced in volume, and that dressing is deliciously distributed everywhere. Let me give this a taste. Some apple and some cabbage. That is so good. This is going to make a great side dish for your barbecues and picnics and things like that at this time of year. I would absolutely serve this along with roast pork, put it on a pulled pork sandwich. That would be a great way to do it. And there are several additions you might consider. Like I said, using some sliced almonds, I would add some dried cranberries by all means to this. Maybe some pineapple tidbits. I love that kind of thing in slaw. And different seeds, pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds would also be a great addition. Maybe even some bell pepper. So there would be a lot of ways to augment it and make it a little different to your taste, but this is my apple slaw. I hope you'll give it a try and give all of our recipes a try. You can find them at the CGH YouTube channel. See you next time.